Mr. Speaker, yes, Mr.
I call the honourable member Andrew Little. We're both stunned here from...
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I thought in a moment of injustice I was going to be deprived of an opportunity to speak in the Great House on the Great Writ, and so I'm very pleased, sir, to take this call on this very important piece of legislation. And as Mr. Okenvold has rightly said, Habeas Corpus goes to the heart of democracy and the sort of justice system that we celebrate and enjoy in this country. It has its origins back as far back as 1251 in the Magna Carta, and the injunction there to prevent the monarch and the feudal lords from arbitrary arrest and detention of the peasants and the other citizenry. And so, and of course, that is as much risk today in some quarters as it was then, some might suspect. But sir, it is because it is so important to our system of justice, which, and I don't wish to be dramatic in saying this, frankly is under threat today. Not because of that member, nor I might add because of the Honourable Chester Borrows, although I have some criticisms of his performance, but because we have in New Zealand today the worst Minister of Justice we have had in more than a generation. A Minister of Justice who is presiding over cuts, cutbacks and deprivation of access to justice in a way that we have not seen in the history of this great country. And we're seeing it not just in the family court, we're seeing it not just in the district courts, and this is where Chester Borrows does know a thing or two because he's busily closing them down, and he's only this week closed down the Upper Hutt District Court and, of course, courts in his own region. But we are seeing it in cuts to the budget for the Crown Law Office and the Public Defender's Office and in a whole host of areas in legal aid. And this is all adding up to, Mr. Speaker, a very serious erosion of principles of justice and, most importantly, access to justice. Habeas corpus has at its heart the right of citizens not only to be deprived of arbitrary arrest and detention, but if that happens or is alleged to have happened, to be brought before a court to have it tested. And this House should never likely interfere with the High Court's jurisdiction in this area. This bill creates some sensible reforms and some expeditious measures about it, but let's not understate the value of it, and let's not forget that we have a justice system that frankly is under threat at the moment and upon which more work will be required, but we will support this bill.
I call the honourable member